Stopped it on purpose so I can restart it.
Oh.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the second attempt at our interview tonight with BeaSt. As you know, I am Shinigami from Shinigami TV.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rob DeLuca, or Shadow, from Tampa Esports.
And I'm BeaSt from Team Gravity.
All right, so join us tonight. As it was BeaSt from Team Gravity. This is the second interview in our installment of our interview processes. BeaSt is the runner-up in our Summer LAN tournament from Tampa Esports, and we're going to be interviewing him, picking his brain a little bit, see what his goals in life, StarCraft, and love might be. Rob, you want to kick off with the first question, or BeaSt, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Yeah, definitely do that.
There's not too much to say. I'm a Masters Terran player. I guess a lot of you guys have probably already seen me play quite a bit in tournaments or maybe streaming online and stuff like that. So I guess I'm just happy that you guys took the time to come and interview me and do all this fun stuff. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool beans. So, BeaSt, tell me, how did you get started in StarCraft?
I originally played Brood War for a while, for quite a while. I used to skip school to play on IC Cup and play ladder 2x2 a lot, and played that until StarCraft 2 came out, basically, so that's where I kind of picked it up.
Kind of reminds me early on, like before even StarCraft, I played Command and Conquer, and I was all excited about that, and I thought it was awesome, and StarCraft came out, and I was like, yeah, this is better.
Hell yeah. Alright, I noticed during the tournament that you are a macro-style Terran, BeaSt. What led you to that style? Like, any favorite players you tried to emulate, or did that just evolve over time?
Well, to be honest, it just... I don't know if I would call myself a macro-style Terran. I do a lot of really aggressive stuff, and in that specific tournament, the reason I chose to macro is because I felt more comfortable playing defensive style in a LAN setting where maybe the player didn't feel as good, or maybe they couldn't. Let me restart. I thought they couldn't macro as good as I could, so if I played defensive and just played safe, I'd be able to take the victory.
Just do a lot of drops and try and starve them out and while taking them down.
Yeah, I didn't really want to do anything risky. I just wanted to play something solid and try to do my own thing. When I actually play on ladder and online and stuff, I mix it up a lot. But in a LAN setting, I didn't want to take any risks that I didn't feel were necessary to beat a player.
I see. Do you think that might have hurt your ability to deal with Rough?
Well, that's a good question. He's definitely a unique player.
Indeed.
I hadn't seen a lot of the things that he did. I was told about them in advance. A lot of my teammates play him on ladder, and it didn't really catch me off guard. Although it worked, there was a lot of really close games, and I don't know. I tried to do my safest builds possible, and maybe if I had tried to, I thought after I rewatched the games, I thought maybe if I tried to be counter-aggressive in response to his super early on aggression that he plays, it would have worked better, but who knows.
Yeah, it's kind of what Rob was talking about when we did our first co-cast episode. We were doing the replays from the other one. We were watching that one. And in the second one, I think it was, he went ghost and started dropping nukes on you. And you did actually go that super aggressive. Your Banshees were just pinging at his base. I think you had him down to like 1 SCV at one point in time. And it was just really back and forth. Everybody, you're both hurting. But because you went that super back aggressive towards him, it kind of prevented him from coming at you.
Oh.
Yeah, that game was nuts. The reason that I specifically chose that map was because I knew that he liked proxies. I knew that he liked to play that super aggressive style. So I figured if I go on a 4-player map like Whirlwind, it would kind of diminish that. And then I would actually have a real chance to macro. I felt confident if I was able to hold off the early nonsense, I'd be able to win in the macro game.
Right.
So that was my thinking behind that map. But yeah, that game was nuts. Definitely, I didn't know how to respond to a nuke rush.
Well, the good one
It's not
does.
something you see every day.
No.
Yeah.
So, why do you think that? Because in that second game, Ruff, honestly, he had you on the ropes. I think you were down to 1 SCV, and he still had 7 or 9 left. What do you think caused him to throw that game away at that point?
I think that his plan on killing me then and there just failed, and I didn't give up. And I kept prolonging the game where I think that my strengths are greater than his in the later game.
Right.
To, I guess, put it.
Yeah, we definitely saw that.
Yeah, so I remember I was down to 1 SCV, but I still felt like there was a chance if I was able to pull it to that mid and late game that my skills were better in that area than his.
Yeah, you definitely had more infrastructure going into that point, even though you only had 1 SCV left. You definitely had a lot more infrastructure ready, and like you said, you held it off, and he wasn't able to kill off all your infrastructure and your buildings and all that. Just kind of rallied back.
So you mentioned Team Gravity a second ago, BeaSt. Tell me more about Team Gravity. Isn't that a team you started?
Yeah, I started it up with a couple friends. We were all on teams previously to this together, so we kind of wanted to go in a new direction, be super active and competitive, and we basically maybe started up a couple months ago. Have been super active in leagues. I know I linked it on your you guys' Facebook page a lot whenever we go live.
Mm-hmm.
We have maybe 2 to 3, 4 league matches a week against top teams, and we're doing really well, so I'm happy with the way things have been progressing so far.
Yeah, at this point you have, 2 GMs in your roster?
More than that, we have 2 Terran GMs, a GM Zerg. Our other Zerg was GM on Korea, but he kind of went inactive. I think he's in med school or something.
That should guarantee.
So he's still a regular player, though he plays with us, just not as much as he used to.
The damn med school taking precedence over StarCraft. It's such a travesty.
Really?
I know, come on.
I know.
Really? You want to be a doctor?
His name wasn't Stefano, right?
I know, he needs to get his priorities in order, no doubt about that.
But I mean, Grandmaster, playing on the Korean servers, that's like, double Grandmaster on the US server, so.
Yeah, it's a lot harder for sure, but I'd say we have 4 GM players, and then you have myself, who I'm kind of just like a backup if my team drops some games or something, and then a couple other guys who kind of fill in that backup role as well.
Well, I guess it says a lot for your team that you self-described yourself as the worst player on the team, yet you're a, rank 2 master right now?
Yeah, I think rank 3.
Rank 3?
Yeah, about 21, a little over 2,100 points this season. But I'm definitely the worst on our active lineup. Like, the other 2 Terrans on the team are sick. They're really, really good players, and I don't know. I think that they're a lot better than myself, anyway, in my opinion.
So, are you starting to, or hoping to get serious with Team Gravity? Like, possibly getting on the competitive scene, going to tournaments, making a name for yourself, sponsors, things like that?
Yeah, that's the idea. Right now, we're all we're self-funded, and we're just trying to grow it basically from the ground up. So it's definitely a process, but that's kind of the idea, is to continue to do well in leagues, attract some sponsors, and go from there, and hopefully be able to help our guys continue to grow and be those guys who can play in WCS and make it to the pool play in MLG and stuff like that.
Indeed.
Tampa Esports when we get bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to bring some guys to there.
Maybe you were the only one that came from your team this time for this LAN?
Yeah, I was the only guy.
Okay.
Thank God, right?
Yeah.
For Ruff.
For Ruff's sake.
Oh, man. So, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I'll chime.
No,
You got
tell
it?
me.
Okay.
You were at the previous LAN. What did you think of it? That's a perfect question.
There you go.
I loved it. It was really fun. A lot of the lines that I go to one regular in Miami. I go there maybe once a year, and I always do really well. So I was really confident going into your guys' land.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make it to the previous one, but I kind of was able to scope out the competition and see who won the last one, and I felt really confident going into it. And it was definitely fun. I like the fact that obviously it's local to me, so that makes it a lot easier to get to.
Right.
Although it's no problem to go to South Beach and party for a couple of days and then go to a land and make a trip out of it.
Yeah, that's healthy.
I try to save the party until after I win.
Until after you win, there you go.
Right. So you mentioned that you were hoping to get into WCS eventually with your team or some of the major events.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was wondering, have any of your players had a chance yet to get in on MLG?
Not through our team, no. A few of us in our previous team, we went together. They sent us, actually. We went to MLG Raleigh last year.
Nice.
Wow.
But like I said, right now, we just started up a couple months ago, and it's all just self-funded and pretty small scale at the minute. So our main focus right now is just like the online leagues and stuff like that.
Right. Speaking of which, I don't have the link on hand, but you constantly are doing team leagues of master gym level players. We should probably post that in chat.
That would help.
Yeah.
Yeah, post it in chat and I'll copy it onto the. I'll copy it and put it onto the cover page so that when we close out today, there'll be I'll throw a link up there so that people can see it on the recording on the archives as well. All you lovely archive viewers.
Indeed.
Yeah, we just recently started up this channel. We basically did it so we had a dedicated channel for our team to start growing during all of our team leagues and stuff, and we picked up a dedicated caster who casts all of our events for us and all that stuff. He does a great job. He does some personal stuff as well, like on his channel. He does show matches on Team Liquid, and it's been a lot of fun to watch a real good caster cast our team. It's I feel like a soccer mom watching my kids play. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do understand that. It's a player coach myself from our little team.
There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine when I almost don't want us to just 4-0 because it's not exciting. I wanted to go to that ace match, and obviously that's bad for the team all around, like points-wise in that league, but it makes it more fun for me personally.
All right, BeaSt, I got to ask the question now. You're a great StarCraft player, but holy shit, you can rap. Where did that come from?
I do it. I used to do it maybe a few years ago, just casually for fun with my buddies. I have maybe 10 or 15 non-StarCraft related songs, and I just enjoy doing it. I never really planned on being big with it or really promoting my music, putting out mixtapes or nothing like that.
Not just standing down at the Circle K down the road, handing out CDs. You know, hey, you want to buy my CD for $5? That guy.
Yeah. I didn't want to be that guy because
no one likes that guy.
Nobody
likes that guy.
But it was one of those things that just kind of came up. I had one of our GM Terran players, Semper. He has a buddy who had a YouTube channel that was pretty big. And I think in one of my drunken idea nights, I shot the guy a message. And I was like, you should, I can do some StarCraft 2 raps for you. And he was all for it. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I really got to do it now. And ended up doing that. And I hadn't rapped for years when I did my first song. So I was a little rusty, but then once I got back into it, it was a blast. So I really enjoyed doing it.
Anything you commit to when you're drunk, regardless of whether you remember or not, you have to do. It's required. I said I'd do what? I'd take you to the park? I'm sorry, kids. All right. Well,
yeah, I know. It's so bad. It's the worst feeling ever is you wake up the next day and you're like, I'm scared to check my Facebook and my Skype because I don't know what I said the previous night. I'm like...
That reminds me of the Navy days.
conversation we had, and then the next day, like, what did we talk about?
Yeah, I remember just apologizing in advance because I get carried away. So I'm like, I'll sit here and just like have the bottle, and I'll be doing shots the whole time, and I'll get really into something. But then I'm worried when I wake up. Like, what did I agree to?
Now, have you ever gone after a night of drinking and on computer antics? Have you ever gone on the next day, checked your match history, and been like, "How did I win 12 matches in a row?"
Usually, it's the other way around.
How did I lose 12 matches in a row?
I've stopped playing drunk just because of the fact that when I'm actually playing, like in my mind, I'm thinking I'm doing so good. Like I'm like, wow, I never macro like this. I'm hitting all my timings, I'm hitting all my upgrades, and then I realize I've been supply blocked for like 6 minutes, and I'm just sitting there at like 80 supply.
That should be a lesson to all of you out there that think you're better at picking up girls when you drink. You're not. Just go play StarCraft when you're drunk. Look at your record. Look at the replays, and just realize that you are better at nothing when you're drunk.
It's just like dancing too, right?
Well, no, I happen to be a great drunk dancer. All right, let's put some limitations on it. Also, my drinking makes others look like they're dancing better, so that helps.
That's true by comparison, yeah.
All right, so BeaSt, I want to know, what are your goals in the next year, and what are your goals in the next 3 years? Let's say Legacy of the Void's out at that point.
Ooh.
Well, that's a good question. I plan to keep playing. I'm hoping that I can eventually hit GM maybe this upcoming season here. I feel like I should have hit it by now, but it's just hasn't happened for me. It just hasn't. Stars weren't aligned or whatever. It wasn't my month, and it just never worked out. So hopefully this upcoming, when GM opens, I think at the end of this month here, I'll get in and continue that, keep growing as a player. In addition, I really want to keep the team moving forward. A lot of the leagues that we're in 3 right now, and we're doing really well. We're guaranteed playoff in 1, and then like top 3 or 4th place in the other 2. So we're doing well on that. I hope to. Maybe we won't win first. There's a lot of other good teams in there too, but I'm hoping that we can place really high in our first ever like team type events. So that would probably be my 1-year plan, is to keep things growing on that. And 3-year plan, I do not know.
Trick question, right?
Yeah. It's kind of everything that I just said, but even better.
But even more, right? That's fair. All right. Well, I think I've exhausted my list of questions for you. What about you, Jared?
I think we've gotten pretty much everything in. I wanted to know one thing. Coming into the LAN tournament, did you know that Ruff would be there, the GM Ruff? So you did.
Nobody knew that.
Nobody
I didn't
knew
tell
that.
anybody.
Okay. Good job, Rob.
No. He signed up literally like 10 o'clock the night before.
10
So
o'clock.
like I didn't even have a chance to post it.
All right. So what was your thoughts heading into that final match? You know, like you said, you were focused on the macro and everything. Heading to that final match, knowing that you were going against somebody that was a GM, coming in and going to be playing the finals against him. What were you thinking about at that time?
Well, when I realized that he was in the bracket, the way that it worked out, me and him were on opposite sides. So I knew that if I made it through my bracket and I played like I expected to, then I'd meet him eventually. Mm-hmm. So we met in like, I guess, the winners finals, right? Mm-hmm. And we had our own computer chat. So I was on Skype and I shot a message to my teammates. I was like, yeah, Ruff's here. Because they've played him before, regular on ladder. So they're like, yeah, this is what he does every game. He does this and this and this. And all you got to do is do this and this. Now, like I said, this is coming from my GM Terran teammates, and they're like top 50 GM. So they're a lot better at just all-around play than I am. And they're like, yeah, it's easy to hold off. It's easy hold every time. But I looked for it, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it'd be to hold off. We played our first game, and I was looking for proxies like a madman. I found his original proxy, and from there it was just an instant win because I shut down his original cheese plan, basically. Everything after that was like different stuff like that I'd never seen before. So I just had to kind of prepare for everything because I had to look for the proxies. I had to look for the 2-port banshees that God knows were going to come like 8 times out of 10.
Oh yeah,
and then he threw in a nuke rush, and I was like, okay, this is getting a little wacky. But I definitely I was nervous about. Well, I wouldn't say I was nervous. I was concerned. I guess I knew I had to take those games seriously. So in the winners finals, I ended up dropping 1-2. I won the first game, lost the second game to just a weird timing that again I'd never seen before, and I had some tanks unsieged and messed up on my end. And then game 3 was like a 2-port Banshee on Avalon Waste, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, those math majors come up with those weird timings. They figure out, hey, if I cut half an SCV here, I can I can get 1 extra Marine, or I can throw a nuke at him earlier. And
yeah, it was definitely it was a good experience. So like, my idea, like I said, was just to hold off whatever kind of early nonsense was going to happen, and then try to push it into a late game. My teammates were pretty convinced that he had good unique openers, but the late game mechanics weren't really there. And I think that's a fair assumption. We watched the game that you guys casted, I think, last week, and I don't mean to like talk bad about Grav. Obviously, he's a nice guy and a good unique player, but definitely his late game I don't think really compares.
Yeah, we actually spoke with him when we did his interview, and I said, some players were saying, you could be a top 10 GM if you were this aggressive but good macro behind it, and he pretty much readily agreed with that statement.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of
just
funny.
Doesn't seem to enjoy that play style for him.
It doesn't suit him.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm still sitting in Masters, so I can't really say too much.
All right, so I got one last question for you before we move out to our shout-outs and close out our interview for tonight, and that is the next Tampa Esports, most likely next Tampa Esports fall LAN, as I start school again Monday and continue on my bachelor's. Throwing a shout-out to myself. November, most likely. What do you think you'll do to prepare for that? Do you plan on attending that? And do you think you're going to take number 1 in the next LAN?
I definitely plan on attending. There's no doubt about that. I'll be there for sure. I mean, I think that I'll do just as well, if not better than last time. So I guess that means second or first. I don't mean to sound overconfident, but you got to go into it thinking that you can, if you play your game and do your thing, you'll take your games and win.
That's how I cast.
So, if maybe Ruff will come again, I'd like to think I'd be more prepared, but who knows what he's going to throw at me next time. We'll see how it goes. I'd love to bring one of my players from Team Gravity to that lane. Mm-hmm. So even if I'm not able to win,
would definitely love to see more teams there too. That'd be awesome to start getting some team rivalries going.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I know SCA had a couple of guys there.
Oh yeah.
And that was cool to see them. I think one was Terran, one was Zerg. I'm not sure if I don't think I've ever played them before. I think they were maybe mid-masters Terrans or players. I'm not sure. But it was cool, to see other people from other teams that are well known there.
Outstanding. All right, Rob, you got anything else? You want to do our shout-outs? You got anything else before we kick it out here?
Now's the time where you get to just shout out to anybody you want to, BeaSt.
All right, well, I guess I'll just shout out my team. If you guys want to see regular content, like I said, we do 3 to 4 matches a week. We play Clarity Gaming actually tomorrow night. Not the Academy, the actual Clarity Gaming with Dragon and all
and that'll be on your Team Gravity
nice.
official?
What's that?
That'll be on your Team Gravity official channel on the Twitch?
That actually, for that league, we're not able to put it on our own personal streams, so that'll be on the front page of Team Liquid tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure who's casting it, but UASL is on the front page every Saturday and Monday. So that's when we play those matches.
All right, cool.
But anyway, follow us. Obviously, the Twitch is right there on the bottom. You can follow all of our players individually through that. We've got Semper, Debaser, Krios. I think all those guys are regular streamers that are top 50 GM players, so really good stuff to watch. And then my personal stream, if you feel like watching me be obnoxious once in a while and rage quit every other game and call people easy every other game.
Is Idri your idol?
No, he's I can't really idolize this sort of player. It just doesn't fit me.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But other than that, I mean, just follow. You can follow me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/BeaSt2. I keep up with everything that I'm doing personally. All my songs coming out go out up there. I release replay packs, stuff like that. When I go live on stream and stuff like this, interview tonight goes up there. So easy way to keep track of me if you're not tired of hearing me talk yet.
And definitely check out his rap videos.
Definitely check out. The link is right up there at the top for one that Rob sent me, and you can subscribe to his YouTube channel and all that fun stuff.
Very catchy.
Yeah.
All right, Rob.
It's fun.
Rob, you got anything to sign off with?
No,
I close this
down? You've been great. It's been fun chatting with you online this time, and I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys, and everybody out there who I brought over here. Make sure to give them a follow, and I think you got your Facebook information up here as well.
Yep, all our stuff, all the streams, all the information is right below each person's individual picture. BeaSt's stream is right there below him. Rob's, what is it, your Twitter below your
yeah, Twitter
yours?
works.
He does Twitter, and whenever me and Rob stream, we normally do it on Tampa. My stream,
Tampa Esports.
Yep, Tampa Esports, the channel that we are currently on right now. My stream, Shinigami TV, right below my name. Do a lot of StarCraft cast commentary and just playing from time to time, trying to get myself out of the Gold League. I finally made it out of Silver.
Yeah, I saw you were cheesing your way all the way up. That's good.
I didn't choose all the way. I was cheesing against the Pro Toss.
Cheese your way out of Silver. Just get out of it as fast as you can.
Yeah, I know. But I'm out of Silver at least now, so now is the quest to get out of Gold. Thank you to our sponsors on Tampa Esports. We have who's our sponsors? I know we got them up there on there.
Rocat and DOS Keyboard.
Rocat and DOS Keyboard for sponsoring the last LAN and continued support from them. Thank you to all of our viewers out there who continue to support Tampa Esports and all of us casting and streaming. And I'd like to throw a very special shout out to Billy, who helped do all our sound checks and our overlays. She is awesome. That is Rob's girl, Shadow's girl. She is awesome, and this would not have happened tonight without her because we were just having a meltdown. I was about to start crying, throwing mice, and it was going to get ridiculous.
To the best of us.
But tune in Sunday for the Rob and the Shadow and Shinigami. I'm going to get into the habit of saying Shadow instead of saying Rob.
That's fine.
The Shadow Shinigami Dual Cast Coaching Corner weekly episode number 3 will be this Sunday. We have gotten a butt ton more replays than we will ever need from one player. So I think Rob has come up with a kind of a good theme and direction for Sunday's Coaching Corner that will be able to direct you on how to get better at StarCraft, how to get out of the current league that you're in, and get up to the next level where you're climbing with me, basically. So we'll get out of the slums, and we'll make it there someday, thanks to Rob, thanks to Shadow, thanks to inspirational strategies from people like BeaSt and Ruff, and all of our other interviews that are coming in the future. Stay tuned and come in Sunday at 4:30. And
4 o'clock.
What time?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? Oh, not 4:30 this time? That was only last time?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 o'clock Sunday. We'll be coming to you live once again from Tampa Esports Channel. Once again, I'm Shinigami. That's Shadow. Wait, no. That's Shadow. That's BeaSt. And
thank you, BeaSt.
We're out.